but I think that, for me, Christian hip hop is something that to me is very specific, even though I think that there's, varying dimensions in it now more than it was before. I think
Yeah.
that the like the demographic of it is still youth group central.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
And I don't rap for your kids, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying kids don't like my music. They do. But at the same time, I'm not going in the studio and I'm not saying that they go in the studio and do that, because that's what
Yeah.
it sound like. That's what I'm saying. You saying
Yeah.
you at your fire here, you saying that's what we do. I'm not
Yeah.
saying they do that. I'm just saying when I go in the, I know what I do and don't do. When I go in the studio to make a song, it's not to make a song based on how I could appeal the most to the Christian demographic. I'm not really considering them. Like even a new song, Coming Home, like I saw somebody put a comment and was like, I thought he said he don't do Christian rap. And I'm like, bro, what you got to understand is me being a Christian that raps, that affords me the ability to make songs about any subject that I want, including my faith.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Including my faith. So if you hear me make songs about Jesus, that doesn't mean I consider my music Christian hip hop. It means that I consider me as a Christian.
Yeah.
And my vocation is hip hop, because I think that for too long the conversation has never really been unpacked in terms of the separation, like the to be or not to be, like
Yeah.
to be a Christian hip hop artist versus to be a hip hop artist who's Christian. That side, the hip hop artist who is a Christian, that side is not really unpacked in Christian hip hop. Why would it be? It's not. It's not a conversation. It's
Yeah.
the reason that that's not a conversation, because it's different. It's not
Yeah.
the same. It's
Yeah.
not the same. So when people say like, "Oh, what's the difference?" Well, if it was the same, you would be talking about that just like you talk about Christian hip hop. You don't like.
Yeah.
There's a difference in it. Like you got people like me, whoever else they may be, and you got people in Christian hip hop who their music is. When I when I listen to these new guys, even the new guys on these interviews, they tell me what the purpose of them making music is for. Like even
Yeah.
if they're not like a KB, they
Yeah.
still tell me, whether it be John Keith, whether it be the other guy from the Bay that he's traveling around who was on
Yeah.
Sway. When they was on Sway, they made it clear. When they on other
Yeah.
interviews, they make it clear. Like they make
Yeah.
music for the purpose of like ministering and things like that. I'm not saying that I never want to minister in my music or that I don't. It's just that when I go in the studio, bro, like I'm not like, yo, man, like how can I I make art because I like actually making art.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's not, I didn't start make like a lot of these dudes, especially the new ones, they wasn't rapping before they was Christian.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's their entry to rap. Like their Tupac is Lecrae.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
John Keith said that on Sway.
Yeah.
He said, "My Tupac is Lecrae." Their introduction to them being a rapper is Christian rap. So, by all with all due respect, like I don't expect them to. Even with them, like I saw them on an interview and they were saying like, "Well, we're trying to decide even now what we should call it. Should we call it Christian hip hop? Should we call it?" I'm like, maybe they think this is a new discussion. Maybe they just never heard of me, but. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, this to be or not to be Christian hip hop conversation has always been a thing with artists, whether it's been with me or even with new guys like them now.
Yeah.
So it's a conversation, and it seems like a lot of people don't in Christian hip hop don't really care to have or don't need that. It's not even that they may not care to have it; they don't have a need to have it.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
around them affirms the title. All of the artists that are around them affirm the title Christian hip hop. Yeah, they say it.
Yeah.
Christian hip hop. Yeah, I'm
Well,
Christian.
honestly, I think it's honestly getting hot. Honestly, like you're starting to see these
Now,
people getting
yeah.
hot. Like Christian Rock is getting hot like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I will say this. I feel like in your era, Grits, Fourth Avenue Jones was like you. If I'm is that safe to say? And I'm not talking about style of music. I'm
Right.
talking about that hip hop
Approach.
Christian. Yeah, approach. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say so.
LA Sims. Yeah.
You said LA, yeah, LA Sim? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so, yeah. I would say so for sure. I would even I'm trying to think of some other people who,
like Tunnel Rats, like cats were like.
to a degree, I would say Tunnel Rats. To a
The
degree,
reason I said that because I know they was having a problem with the
yeah,
movement at one time, and
right,
they were making music that was like they were battling people on the West Coast too, like
right,
they were battlers. So it wasn't like
right,
you know what I mean, they love the art of hip hop, like they
yeah,
like that,
yeah,
they love that art of hip hop, but they
yeah,
happen to be Christian. You know what I'm saying? So it was
yeah,
like guys like yourself, you know what I'm saying, or even well, Gospel Gangsters was a little bit different, but I know they probably caught flack too from the church the way their presentation was as well. So
right. Yeah, so I just think that anybody who hears my music and feels like they want to call my music Christian hip hop, I please do. Like it's fine. I saw Q Flow in that interview too. He was like he made a list of like his top CHH artists, and he was like, man, I'm mad that Japhia don't call himself CHH because I would have put him like number 2. He's like, I guess you would put Lecrae number 1. You know, it's like I'm not, and I was like, yo, bro, you can put me on your list. It's fine.
Yeah.
Open to interpretation, but people don't understand. My music is open to interpretation to me first.
Yeah.
Like what I define it as, because like if I was going to be like the sole purpose of my music, people say, so what would cause you to call your music Christian hip hop? Japhia, that's a good question. What would cause you to say your music is Christian hip hop? If my whole goal was to make music for the sole purpose of ministry,
got you.
I would say I do Christian hip hop. I would say I'm a Christian hip hop artist because that's Christian hip hop to me. Christian hip hop is made for the sole purpose of ministry, no matter how artistic it goes.
Yeah.
The purpose of it, even when in its most artistic moments, is still to point people to Jesus, which is a beautiful thing. I'm a Christian. If anybody knows that's a beautiful thing, it's me.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a space for that, which is Christian hip hop. And I think there's a space outside of that for artists who are Christian, who are just as in love with Jesus as the Christian hip hopper. So, yeah.
You know who would be in that same boat? Toby and Wigway.
Okay, yeah. I would call him. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing, like even people have, you know, I remember, like you know, people like Lecrae and Andy, like you know, as of recent, some years ago, they were trying to go that route too.
Yeah.
Because they were getting notoriety outside of Christian hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they were trying to play into that and lean into that. And I think they saw after a while that that's only going to either be temporarily a thing for you or what have you, because you know what I'm saying, you can't, like, if all roads for you lead back to Christian hip hop, like you can't go on Sway, you can't go on the Breakfast Club and say, when they ask you about your music and ask you about Christian hip hop, and you say, well, I don't do Christian hip hop, I'm just a hip hop artist. Like, you talking like me now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, and then they ask you about it and you say, well, why do they call you Christian hip hop? And Lecrae on a Breakfast Club says, well, you know, because that's just how people frame things.
Yeah.
No, they call you that, and I'm saying this in love because that's my homie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if same applies to Andy, you know what I'm saying? So like they call you Christian hip hop because that's what y'all are.
Yeah.
Like, and now they like, I don't know about Andy as much, but I know Lecrae seems to have kind of like come back to the fold of Christian hip hop because that's where you're king.
Yeah.
When you much rather sit on the throne in your kingship, like your kingdom of Christian rap, in term, just figuratively speaking.
Yeah.
King, but like just figuratively speaking, if Lecrae is the king of Christian rap, why would you want to spend more money and time trying to build in that world when you already platformed and position yourself to be in a certain spot and solidify? Because
I think he didn't know how to maneuver in what you talk about. Like, and what I mean by that is he understood it, but then I remember seeing something that Joe Baraka was like, bro, just embrace it. You're like Kirk Franklin to these kids.